the MMA world just can't stop talking about UFC Paris, and for good reason. What was supposed to be a night celebrating fighters turned into one of the most debated events in recent memory. Let's start with the most talked about moment of the night. Veteran referee Herb Dean is once again at the center of outrage after stopping the welterweight clash between Axel Sola and Rhys McKee. It was the third round and McKee was still very much in the fight. Sola landed a clean body shot that forced McKee down. He followed up with some ground and pound, but the shots weren't devastating. Still, Dean suddenly stepped in and waved the fight off. Immediately, McKee bounced to his feet, furious at the decision. The crowd erupted, and within minutes, social media was flooded with fans blasting Dean for what they called a trigger-happy call. Some called him the worst ref in UFC history. Others begged the promotion to finally move on from him. One fan even wrote, "Herb Dean is useless, yet somehow still employed. Time to retire." This wasn't just disappointment, it was anger. And the frustration wasn't only about one stoppage. For many fans, it felt like the final straw in a pattern of questionable calls. But as fans vented, the emotional roller coaster of UFC Paris was only just beginning. Right after that controversy, the spotlight shifted to the heavyweight division. Tom Aspinall, one of the UFC's most promising stars, was seen cage-side in tears, and the reason hit close to home. His teammate Croatian powerhouse Ante Delija had just made his long-awaited UFC debut. Facing veteran Marcin Tybura, Delija unleashed his trademark power and scored a thunderous knockout. For a fighter who had been grinding for years outside the spotlight, it was a dream finally realized. Aspinall couldn't hold back the emotion. Cameras caught him jumping out of his seat, screaming in celebration before breaking down with tears of joy. He later explained, "It means so much to him. He's been waiting his whole life for this."
Hey! Hey! Oh! Come on, let's go! Oh! Because it means so much to him. It means so much to him. He's a great guy, awesome guy. He's been waiting his whole life for that. It was awesome.
Delija's record speaks for itself. 26 wins, 19 finishes, and now a statement debut in the UFC. With that kind of firepower, he might just shake up the entire heavyweight picture. But while Aspinall was wiping away tears, the UFC was busy counting billions. Behind the scenes, UFC executives dropped a bombshell. The promotion has signed a $7.7 billion broadcast deal with Paramount. And this isn't just about money, it's about how fans will watch the sport moving forward. In the US, pay-per-view will officially be gone under the new deal. Every fight, every numbered card, every event will be available without the old PPV price tag. Dana White called it a game changer for American fans, and on paper, it absolutely is. But here's the catch. Outside the US, pay-per-views aren't going anywhere. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and plenty of other countries will still need to pay extra for those big cards. At the post-fight press conference, UFC exec David Shaw even teased that this new flexibility might allow them to bring a numbered event to France next year. Imagine UFC Paris hosting a blockbuster PPV-style event without the PPV. It's a sign that global expansion is only heating up.
With this new Paramount deal, there has been talk about maybe doing a numbered event in Paris next year, because there's no pay-per-view anymore.
Well, sorry to interrupt. I think there's an important distinction that is necessary for this conversation. That is, pay-per-view still exists as a distribution medium. So what we've changed with Paramount and the deal in the US is we've just changed the distribution platform for our content. So pay-per-view will no longer exist in the US. We've still got vibrant pay-per-view businesses in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and a number of other places. And so if your question is leading to, does the new Paramount deal permit the flexibility to potentially bring a numbered event to France? It's the same answer that I answered for this gentleman. Please.
And speaking of global stars, one featherweight champion in waiting just crossed paths with one of boxing's biggest names. Ilia Topuria, the undefeated Spanish sensation, recently ran into Terence Crawford just days before Crawford's mega fight with Canelo Alvarez. Topuria wasted no time stirring the pot. He snapped a photo with Crawford and captioned it, Who wins in a fight? But this wasn't just a friendly moment. Topuria has openly called for a fight with the winner of Canelo versus Crawford. He admitted Canelo was once his idol, but now he wants to test himself against either man. Why not, he said. I believe I can do it. I believe I can become a world champion in boxing.
I would love to go against the winner of Canelo and Crawford, Canelo, because he was my idol. There's always respect for everyone, but I have to try. Why not? I feel that I can do it. To get a world title in boxing, let's go Turkish. This guy, how's his name? The Turkish?
Turkey or whatever?
Turkey, yeah.
Crawford, however, wasn't buying it. On the Full Send podcast, when asked who he thought was the best pure boxer in the UFC, he didn't pick Topuria. He didn't even hesitate. Instead, he named Cody Garbrandt. That's right, the former bantamweight champ. Crawford's choice was a subtle dig at Topuria's hands, and fans were quick to notice.
Who do you watch in the UFC that you think?
My guy, what's his name?
You seen Topuria's? Cody Garbrandt?
Yeah, he the best. He the best UFC boxer.
Have you seen Topuria? Have you seen his fights recently?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Cody got them hands.
Cody's not, like, I'm not shitting on him, but he's not on the...
But I'm saying, we talking about straight boxing.
Straight boxing?
Yeah, we ain't talking about nothing else. We talking about straight boxing skills. I just think Cody got the best boxing skills, you know, in UFC. That's just my opinion.
The clash of egos between these worlds only fueled speculation about a possible crossover fight. But while Topuria was teasing future super fights, Paris was still buzzing from a main event that left everyone debating. The headline bout of UFC Paris saw hometown hero Nassourdine Imavov face Brazilian contender Caio Borralho. Over 5 hard-fought rounds, Imavov proved just a step quicker, securing a unanimous decision. The win was solid, but was it spectacular enough to put him in line for a title shot? That's where the debate began. Fighters themselves chimed in on social media. Khamzat Chimaev praised the fight, but suggested he'd beat both men. Henry Cejudo highlighted Imavov's lightning-fast right hand, calling it one of the sharpest in MMA. Aljamain Sterling questioned Borralho's game plan, noting he didn't shoot for takedowns often enough. Then came Sean Strickland, who didn't hold back. He blasted Borralho for cutting weight twice leading into the fight, calling him an idiot for ruining his own performance. Strickland claimed the poor decision cost him weeks of proper training and ultimately showed in the cage. But as fans argued about whether Imavov had earned a title shot, another storyline unfolded, one involving a rising star who suffered a crushing setback. Mauricio Ruffy entered UFC Paris riding a 7-fight win streak, but the momentum came crashing down against Ben Sandin. Ruffy was submitted in the second round, ending his streak and leaving the crowd stunned. Teammates Ian Gary and Carlos Prates were in attendance, and cameras captured their raw reaction to Ruffy's defeat. The usually confident Gary was visibly frustrated, shaking his head in disbelief. For a fighter many saw as a breakout star, it was a brutal reminder of just how unforgiving the sport can be. But the harshest reaction wasn't from fans or even teammates. It came from the lightweight champion himself. Ruffy had been running his mouth all week, taking shots at grapplers and even telling Islam Makhachev directly that his reign at the top was coming to an end. "Enjoy your days at the top," Ruffy said. "A new king is coming." But after his loss, Islam wasted no time firing back. He took to social media and wrote, "Win or lose, Ruffy has zero grappling. Train more, speak less. That's the key to success." The internet erupted with memes, mocking Ruffy's pre-fight trash talk compared to his performance. Within hours, his name was trending for all the wrong reasons. It was a brutal lesson in MMA, talk is cheap. The cage tells the truth. And finally, Islam Makhachev says Ilia Topuria is ducking Arman Tsarukyan. Islam says in an interview, "It's no secret that Ilya's been ducking Arman. I've already seen some comments on the internet where he says I'd rather retire than fight Arman. Arman has been on a good streak and he must be the toughest test."
Я хотел задать вопрос Исламу. Считаешь ли ты Армана самым серьезным соперником для Ильи? И не кажется ли тебе, что Топурия избегает его?
Ну, что избегает, не секрет. Я уже видел там баталии в интернете, где он говорит, я лучше завершу карьеру, чем буду с ним драться. И я думаю на данный момент, что Арман набрал хорошие обороты, и это самый серьезный экзамен для чемпиона.
And that's what made UFC Paris unforgettable. It wasn't just about one fight or one star. It was about the chaos, the controversy, and the emotions that unfolded all night long. If this much drama happened in Paris, just imagine what the next UFC card could bring. One thing's for sure, the fight game never sleeps, and the stories only get bigger from here. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the wild world of MMA, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you don't miss the next update.